Running? Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the campaign launch and the manifesto launch of the UK Independence Party for the 2010 general election. This year we'll be campaigning with an edgier campaign with fully thought out policies. We've got the people and we've got surprises. We'll be standing at least 550 candidates across the country, which is more than UKIP has ever fielded before. Today, we will be also announcing a few surprises. I'm sure you've seen our first poster, which has been put up on billboards across the country, which is dealing with the problem of immigration. Our second billboard, which will go up very, very soon indeed, basically says, sod the lot. Let's do away with the politicians, let's do away with the old political parties who have taken this country into such the mire that it is at the moment. Today we would also be launching the manifesto. So ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to introduce you to our Deputy Leader and Head of Policy, David Campbell-Bannerman, who will talk you through the manifesto.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming along today. We're launching today the National Manifesto, UKIP's General Election Manifesto, and the Local Manifesto as well. The theme is empowering the people. We want to give power back to the people through democracy, through referenda. And we believe that UKIP represents a true change, not the token change you're going to see this week from the other three old parties, the Lib Lab Con. We are no longer a single issue party, and I think this testifies to that. We have policies right across the board, to animal welfare, pubs, on every subject. It's all contained in here. And we've had 17 policy groups working on this for 3 years. There's a lot of work in that. But at the heart of it are the three freedoms that leaving the EU contains: the freedom of action, the freedom to scrap 120,000 regulations and directives from the EU, the freedom of resources, £6.4 billion net this year, and up to 120 billion is the estimate from Taxpayers Alliance, including red tape, and freedom of the people, putting the power back with the people through direct democracy, which is not just tokenism, as we hear again from other parties. The main initiatives in this manifesto, briefly then, are on the economy side. We want no tax on minimum wage. We want a tax threshold of 11,500, then a flat tax of 31%. We want to take the low paid out of tax altogether. We want to get rid of the iniquitous tax on jobs, that is national insurance. We believe in getting rid of employers' national insurance over 5 years. We get it back in other ways, through more jobs, through more income tax, through more sales tax. And we want to get rid of employees' national insurance, which will wrap into the flat tax. And that is honest, straight talking by doing that. We want to transfer 2 million jobs from the public sector to the private sector over 5 years. How do we do that? We want to create 1 million jobs in manufacturing and related services, and 1 million through cutting this EU business regulation and cutting taxes. We believe we're at a crossroads at the moment where the choice is between 3 Lib Lab Con parties that will just put up taxes and UKIP that will cut tax and encourage enterprise. And we'll do this, the 1 million jobs in manufacturing, through long-term programs of investment in defence, energy, transport, prison building and flood prevention. On immigration, another key area, we will bring in a 5-year freeze on permanent settlement. That is, working towards citizenship. We will have work permits for everyone, including EU citizens, subject to skills needs, not just non-EU needs as now. We will triple the UK Borders Agency's personnel engaged in immigration. And on crime, We'll introduce directly elected county police boards to set police priorities at the local level. We don't believe in elected police chiefs, by the way. We think that's a step too far. We want the elected board to be the politicians and the police commissioner to be a professional. We will scrap the Human Rights Act, which is the criminals' charter, we believe, and so we can deport a lot of foreign prisoners and terrorists. And we will double the number of prison places, and make sentences mean what they say. On defence, we will ensure that our forces get proper equipment, and will bring an end to the devastating Labour and Tory defence cuts. We are prepared to spend 40% more on defence, increasing the army by a quarter, returning the Royal Navy to its 2001 strength, and providing more aircraft for the RAF. Now, on the NHS and healthcare, we believe strongly in the principles of the NHS, and we will introduce elected county health boards and scrap the wasteful strategic health authorities and primary care trusts. We will franchise out a lot of NHS services, such as hospitals. This is already happening in my area in the east of England, Hinchingbrook Hospital, GP surgeries and other services. We will have clinically trained matrons running hospitals, and those hospitals will be clean ones, and we'll restore free eye and dental checkups. On education and training, we'll introduce again elected county education boards. We'll create new grammar schools, but make the 11+ test not just academic but non-academic as well, such as skills, and we'll remove any stigma of failure by doing that. Yesterday, the Sutton Trust, as you probably saw, found that grammars actually helped social mobility more than comprehensives. We agree strongly with that point. We will abandon the ridiculous 50% graduate target and drive up standards. We will have school vouchers, and again, we'll use the franchising technique to franchise out schools and colleges. You could have Eton or successful grammar schools running state schools under that system. Briefly then, ladies and gentlemen, just a couple of other policy points. We will allow binding referenda on national and local issues, such as planning referenda. We call these Tesco referenda, which basically will determine whether supermarkets are built in towns or not, and other major planning schemes. We will simplify welfare. We're simplifying tax and welfare and getting rid of a lot of the form filling and bureaucracy. And we will remove means testing from pensions, making an £8 billion saving alone just in the administration of welfare. And we'll introduce workfare, which is a very important scheme to be managed by local councils to help give people the pride of work at the local level. In transport, we'll reopen many closed railway lines that have a modern day need, using some of that restored EU funds, and will require foreign lorries to pay for British roads using a Brit disc. On the environment, we oppose green taxes and wind turbines. On the Constitution, we want to scrap the National Assembly members, such as MSPs, replace them with Westminster MPs from their nations, meeting 1 week in every month, and that's entirely feasible. And we'll create an English Parliament under that process, but just meeting in Westminster. And finally, UKIP will be the party of the Commonwealth. We want to leave the EU, negotiate a Swiss-style free trade agreement, and go back to our kith and kin in the Commonwealth. The Commonwealth free trade area that we wish to establish is already estimated to be worth 1.8 trillion US dollars, and it will enhance trade, and we can rebuild links with our kith and kin in the Commonwealth.